I hope this video doesn't take too long because I am a rambler. Hey babes! Welcome back to MoonbaeCrochet. It's your girl, Brandy, because I haven't been introducing myself in videos and I've been getting more and more new subscribers. So first of all, welcome. Hello. If you've subscribed recently, thank you. You mean the world to me. All the lovely comments and stuff that you guys have been leaving, I just truly can't wrap my head around it. So just thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't even know what my subscriber count will be by the time this video goes up. I try to pre-film videos, that way I always have something going up. I work like an actual 9-to-5 job and stuff, and so, you know, I always want to make sure to fit this into the pockets of time where I do have time to do stuff outside of work. So sometimes, like in a video, I'll say something like, oh, thank you guys so much for like 70 subscribers, but by that time that video goes up, I'll be at like 90, you know what I mean? So just, I don't know what we're at right now, but the trajectory of what it's been looking like is like astounding, amazing to me. Thank you so much. And I know I say that in every video. I don't care. I'm never going to stop being grateful for you guys ever. So thank you for being here. Today we are joined by Papi Pedro. Is it weird to wear a celebrity's face on your shirt? Probably. I don't care. I'm obsessed with this man. Well, welcome to another episode of Cocktails and Crochet Talk. As always with these videos, it's just going to be kind of chit-chatty. I hope this video doesn't run too long because, yeah, like I said, I'm a rambler. But today I got a great suggestion from a subscriber on one of my last videos that said that they would really love to hear like a story time / Cocktails and Crochet Talk regarding how I got started crocheting, what got me into it, that kind of thing. So I would love to talk about that today. It's probably going to be a little long because I can talk. This bird loves to chirp. And so grab a fun beverage. Mine, you would not believe what I'm drinking today, okay? My cocktail. Not bad. You want to know what I'm drinking? Hard Mountain Dew Baja Blast. 0 sugar. This one is the Baja Blast Punch. I do have the regular Baja Blast as well. It came in like a variety pack. I think it was like punch, pineapple, the regular Baja Blast, and I don't know what the other one was. Mango, maybe? So grab your fun beverage. Grab whatever whip you're currently working on, your work in progress. Whatever kind of craft you're into, pull it out. Let's hang out. Let's just chill together while I tell you how I got into my craft of choice, crochet. So I was first introduced to crochet through my mother. Don't ask me how she got into it. I think she met a coworker that was into it, and then it was kind of something that she was like, oh, I would like to do that. So she got into crochet when I was very young, like maybe 6-7 years old. We would be sitting on the couch in the little apartment that we lived in, and she just started getting all kinds of yarn, and she was into making blankets. She would string like 2 or 3 balls of yarn together at the same time, and she only knew how to do like a basic double crochet stitch, but with the 3 strands of yarn all attached while she was doing it, it always ended up looking like a really cool marbled blanket. And honestly, double crochet is one of the best stitches you could use for a blanket. It's basic, but it's just like so functional and cozy. So she got on a run of making blankets when I was young, and she would make like a couple of blankets like for us to put on our lap like at church. And she kind of thought, you know what, I'm gonna get yarn colors and make a blanket for every single one of my grandchildren. And this is where I get my overly ambitious side, I think. Because that did not end up happening. And now it's been over 20 years and all of her grandchildren are adults. But it was a cute thought. And honestly, she still has a lot of that yarn. And she has it in bags, and like some of the blankets have been started. It's really funny. And she has recently told me that she wants to get back into crochet. She's put it down for so many years. So many things have happened in her life. You know, the type of job that she worked was so grueling. Like, I don't even know how she had time to crochet outside of work to begin with. I would just be sleeping all the time, which she did a lot, but also not for lack of just like she was just being lazy. My mom, worked like these 12-hour shifts. It was like she would work 4 days on and then 3 days off, but it's like the whole first day, all you want to do is sleep because God, that's so much work. And then on top of that, my mom is a cancer survivor, so thank God for that. But cancer and cancer treatment takes a big toll on your body. And my mom's particular cancer was in her thyroid. I'm no doctor, okay, so don't quote me, but as far as I know, the thyroid like provides your body energy. So people who have thyroid problems have issues like regulating their energy levels. Like they don't feel like a normal person where they can just get up and go and do things. People with thyroid issues, as far as I'm aware, always feel just not enough energy. And so they ended up taking out my mom's thyroid. So for the rest of her life, she'll have to be on medication. It's kind of like a fake thyroid to the body. Like it kind of is supposed to like supplement that, but no amount of medication could ever replace an organ. You know what I mean? And so she'll never feel that same level of energy that she had before she had cancer, But I will say, you can be tired for the rest of your life. I'm just so glad that you're here, Mom. So that was a little bit of a tangent, but basically that's why my mom hasn't crocheted in so long. But for some reason, I got that little itch to start getting into it when I became a little bit of an older teenager, like maybe right out of high school. I was probably 18 years old. It was probably like the year 2014. I have always been a gift giver. When I was really young, we were part of a religion where we didn't really celebrate holidays like that. But one thing, again, also that I really appreciate about my mom is that she never made me feel like I needed to follow this religion to a T and like I'm a bad person if I want to celebrate this birthday or go to grandma's for Christmas or something, even though she chose not to do it, which is one thing that I know like a lot of people who grow up really religious with strict parents, that can be kind of like traumatic, and you grow up with all this like guilt and you don't know how to like cope with it and stuff. So that is one thing that I like truly appreciate my mom for, is not forcing her religious beliefs on me, or forcing me to conform to something that I didn't feel was necessary, really, you know what I mean? And so I always found a big joy in gift giving, and particularly in the holiday season. I just loved seeing the twinkly lights and all the presents under the tree and stuff. And it's not necessarily like a materialism thing. I don't really care that much for expensive gifts or these big extravagant gifts. Like I just love to give gifts. I could care less about receiving them, honestly. Like you write me a little card, you give me something to eat, like I'm good. But I love to spoil other people. But when I was getting a little bit older, it translated more into like, I want to give heartfelt gifts. I want people to feel the love that I put into this. And so around the time that I was out of high school, there's people in my life where I was like, I want to give them something special, not something that you could just go buy at a store. So then it kind of just triggered like my memory. I was like, hey, like my mom used to crochet. Like, I wonder if I could get into that. And I remember my mom teaching me the very basics when I was like 7 years old. She taught me how to chain and stuff, but that was the extent of my knowledge. Where does any millennial go to learn anything these days? YouTube.com. So I think I found just some basic tutorials on how to like make a blanket or like how to double crochet or whatever. And I remember the very first blanket I ever made. Yikes. And I think everybody can attest, the very first project you make of a certain craft or whatever, it's never going to be your best work. But I remember specifically, I think the colors were like a bright blue, like almost like the overalls on my bear here, and black. And the blanket, I remember I gifted it to somebody too. And I was just like, I was proud that I had made it, but looking back on it, I'm like, oh my God. It started off like, as long as this frame, and then it just kind of tapered in like a freaking beach towel. So obviously we all learn how to like make our things look proper. We all learn how to count our stitches and stuff. But that, and like, I remember the first time I tried to make an amigurumi, I bought a pattern on Etsy, not knowing how to read a crochet pattern to save my life. And honestly, all things considered, I don't have a picture of it anymore. God, it was so long ago. But all things considered, I think I did a decent job for my very first amigurumi, Was it anything compared to the things I make nowadays? Absolutely not. But Yeah, I remember, I think I made this like video game character for somebody that was in my life at the moment, and they were really into this video game. So I was like, oh, let me see if there's like, if I can make something related to that. And then I found crochet patterns for these two characters from that video game, and I crocheted them, and they were probably super ugly, but it was my very first amigurumis ever, and I was very proud of myself for that. And honestly, that only grew, you know, my knowledge and my experience, because you're never going to be good at something the first time you try it, and just it just takes honing your craft. And now I think the things that I make are cute or whatever. And I think I kind of just did crochet as like a little thing here and there. Like I had some yarn, but it was never something that I did all the time. But I remember, I think when I got with my current partner, my man, for the very first birthday that we were spending together, his birthday, I wanted to make him something special. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this crochet thing a try again. And then I fell in love with crochet. Mwah, 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 chef's kiss. It's my favorite thing in the world, because I discovered my favorite crochet artist on this platform, on this planet. And that is Miss Jada in Stitches right here on YouTube. No, she doesn't know I exist. Actually, I have left her a few super chats in her live streams before, and they do respond to me. So, you know, whatever. Although I've done it with my other accounts, so they probably wouldn't recognize this name here. But regardless, she'll know I exist. But I love that woman with every fiber of my being. She is just a light in this world, first of all. And then I think her teaching style is so incredible for beginners, because without her, I'm sure I would have learned to crochet eventually, but I don't know if I would have gotten as into it as I am, because her passion just shines through. And she's been crocheting for decades, and it shows. Like, she has anything that you can think that you want to crochet in this world. If you just search thing Jada in Stitches on YouTube, she'll probably have some semblance of a tutorial on it, and it's just incredible. And so as I'm learning to crochet all these new things, well, now I'm just typing in, oh, you know, like crochet bunny Jada in Stitches, and she's gonna pop up, and it's just incredible. And so the very first Jada in Stitches tutorial I ever did was her chevron blanket pattern, and I made it for my man in Buffalo Bills colors, because he is a huge Buffalo Bills fan. Everything I did for him for his birthday that year was like Buffalo Bills themed, because, you know, when somebody loves a sports team, that's like the easiest thing to do for birthdays and holidays and stuff. So yeah, I made him that chevron blanket, and it came out so perfect. And I have such good memories of that too, because at the time, my best friend at All Dolled Up Crochet on Instagram, go check her out, she was also getting into crochet at the time, and she was also in like a newish relationship. Like, we got together with our men around the same time. And so I remember that summer, we were like chilling every day. Like, she was home from college, and we were sitting in my bed watching YouTube, working on our chevron blankets for our respective partners. And that is such a cute, fun memory to me. I love that. Like, oh my God. I miss our sleepovers, okay? Yes, I'm pushing 30, okay? But I still want to have a cute little sleepover with my best friend where we just like eat snacks and watch YouTube and crochet together. Like, is that so much to ask? But yeah, so that was the first big project I did, and it just escalated from there. Pretty much everything I learned it from Jada in Stitches, and then I started venturing out into like purchasing patterns and finding other like crochet YouTubers that I loved, that I could follow their patterns. Another one that I love, I don't want to say it because I don't want to like butcher the name, but I'll go ahead and type it out right here. This is the name of that YouTuber that she makes all kinds of tutorials on like amigurumi and stuff, and they are so gorgeous. And around the time that I got into that was around the time of the global P word that happened, you know, where everybody was stuck inside most of the time. And that, I think, is when I really started to take my crocheting seriously. Like, I found it to be an outlet for me, to do something crafty, do something to take my mind off of things. And I was making all these cute projects, and it really filled my heart with joy, even though I was, you know, going through terrible things we all were, right? At that time, having crochet was like one of the best things for me at that moment. And it has just completely blossomed, you know. Now I've made things that I wouldn't have even dreamed that I would be making back when I was first starting with that beach towel of a blanket that I tried to make, and all these like cute fun things that I would make. You know, people would always tell me, you need to post this online, you need to show people. And being a content creator has like always been one of my dreams. Like I wanted to be a content creator when I was 13 years old, like in high school, like just, you know. And I never would have thought that I would have combined two things that I love so much, like crochet and content creation. But I love it. I love it so much. I didn't start posting on TikTok until 2023, when I was already pretty deep into my like crochet journey and honing my craft and stuff. And that was one of the best decisions I ever made, because I don't know if I ever would have stayed consistent with something like YouTube or anything really if I hadn't just started posting regularly on TikTok. So I'm never going to stop plugging my TikTok, because that is like my bread and butter. That is where I started. That is what has given me such confidence to put myself out there and show you guys all my stuff. And yeah, so kind of what started as something for me to just kind of give homemade gifts that meant a lot to me and the people receiving them has turned into something bigger than I ever expected. I'm over here trying to design patterns now. I'm over here coming up with cute like seasonal items I can put in my Etsy shop. And I think what means the most to me about it all is that I love to do it. There's never a moment when I'm crocheting something and I'm thinking like, ugh, okay, like I just need to get this row done and I'll be done. Like I'm never annoyed in the process. I mean, there are things that annoy me, of course, like having to assemble an amigurumi or having to weave in ends and stuff, but it's never something that, like, it's a labor of love. You know, it's never something that feels like work to me. It is something that definitely feels like fun. And the fact that I do have the potential to like sell an item and, you know, make a little money from it is incredible. But honestly, I would do it even if I didn't have an Etsy shop, because I just love doing it, and I would probably just give away all my stuff to friends and family. I just love crochet so much, man. Like, you can really lose yourself in a good crochet project. And another thing, you know, I find people telling me like, oh, I wish I could do what you do. I wish I could like crochet. Like, you have so much time and patience. You're so talented. Like, all of those things really mean the world to me. I'm honestly not a very patient person. But I don't know. I guess you make patience for the things that you really want, because, yeah, I don't know. I didn't find crochet to be a daunting thing to learn or anything. I really enjoyed myself while learning, and I'm still learning every day. Like, you learn new techniques, new stitches, and all that. And honestly, like, just going back to what I said earlier, I think that the only way that you get good at something is just to keep on doing it. You had seen some of my projects before, atrocious, but now my projects are like, they look good. And you know, I would not have gotten here without the last 10 years of experience under my belt. So it just takes time, of course, and I think that goes with any craft. You can really get good at anything that you want to do if you just put in the time. Crochet is just such a fun therapeutic outlet for me. And even though not everybody will get into it, I implore you to find a hobby that brings you the type of joy that crochet brings me. If it makes you smile while you're doing it, if you find yourself like wanting to go back home so that you can like bust it out again, that should be your thing. I used to really love to scrapbook. I still have all my scrapbooking supplies. I just haven't done it in a while because I just feel like I'm so busy with so many other things, but I do still love that kind of thing. The one thing that I have not been able to wrap my head around is knitting. I remember my 4th grade teacher tried to teach us how to knit. I could not get the hang of it. Crochet was definitely like the easier option in my opinion. I feel like crochet is so forgiving. Like, if you drop a stitch in knitting, that's gonna run. But with crochet, I mean, you could frog it, redo it. You could just add in another stitch if you forgot one and nobody's gonna be able to tell. Like, it's just, I love it so much. Yeah, so that was just like my little story on how kind of that I got into starting to crochet, and you know, where I'm at now and how I feel about it and all that stuff. I love it so much, and I love this little community that we're building here. Thank you so much if you watched the whole thing and you're into you know, my little chit-chatty crochet videos. I really enjoy doing them, like truly. So if you have any other topics that you would like me to discuss on these cocktails and crochet talks, please leave them in the comments down below. I would love to see them. Some of the suggestions that you guys give me are like incredible, something that I probably wouldn't have thought of myself, and I love that. So I hope you guys have been enjoying the content. I really enjoy putting it out there. So yeah, again, just truly thank you so much for being here and all that you do for me. I could not have asked for a better little platform and audience. So thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope everybody has a crafty rest of their afternoon, and be safe out there. Appreciate you all so much, and I will see you next time.